Hello again, and welcome back to the next session at WordCamp Santa Clarita. One of the positive things about the pandemic, if you could see anything in that, the tragedy of the past year, was the greatness of the project called Learn.WordPress.tv. Harry Shanker is a member of that team. He's produced some content there, but Harry is a community wrangler at Automatic, where he is a full-time contributor to the WordPress community team. WordPress is one of his biggest passions, and he enjoys working on projects that empower the global WordPress community. He's a big fan of open source tech and the open web. He has a diverse career with experience in domains of project management, technical support, professional blogging, event management, and print journalism. Harry is based out of Kochi, India, where he lives with his wife and their cats. Harry has been one of the great people involved with us producing this event, and I want to thank him personally for being such a great mentor and a friend. I'm really excited to see what he does as he presents Learn.WordPress.org, the future of WordPress education. Take it away, Harry.
Hello, WordCamp Santa Clarita. My name is Hari Shanker, and I'm a community wrangler with Automatic. I also contribute full-time to the WordPress community team. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Learn.WordPress.org, the future of WordPress education. Before I start, I want to highlight 3 news stories that came out recently. The first one is a very famous WP Engine study on the WordPress economy, which says that the WordPress economy is worth $635 billion. In case you heard that right, billion dollars. The second one is a page from WordPress.org, which says that WordPress powers 40% of the internet. At the time of recording this session, I believe the number is close to 42%. And the third one is an article from ZDNet that came out in 2020, which says that there's an exponential rise in the number of PHP developer jobs, 834% to be exact. All these pointed one unanimous fact: there is an immense need for WordPress skills, for WordPress professionals, for WordPress jobs. And there is a huge gap of these skills that need to be bridged. And this is where a platform like Learn WordPress or Learn.WordPress.org comes in. So what is Learn WordPress? It is a learning resource, essentially, an official learning resource which is built by WordPress contributor teams that lives on WordPress.org. It contains workshops, discussion groups, lesson plans, quizzes, and courses, essentially all the learning information that you need in order to learn the WordPress open source software. Learn WordPress, or the site learn.wordpress.org, has been around for a while now. It was built originally by the WordPress training team as a way to create lesson plans for meetup groups, so that meetup groups can use these lesson plans to organize sessions. With the pandemic, we realized that there's a need for bridging these WordPress skills. And as a result, several contributor teams joined hands together with the training team, and they all revamped the Learn WordPress site, and it was officially launched on December 2020, and it was announced by Matt Mullenweg at the State of the Word as well. So in short, Learn WordPress is now a live platform. So let's take a look at Learn WordPress and how it looks. This is how the Learn WordPress homepage roughly looks. You can access this by visiting the Learn WordPress URL, which I shared earlier, learn.wordpress.org. If you go to wordpress.org, you will see a link called Learn on the site, which you can click and access the site as well. So what does Learn WordPress have? Lesson plans are the cornerstone of Learn WordPress. So lesson plans essentially contains all the information that you need to deliver a workshop on a particular topic. So it's essentially like a handbook. So imagine how a teacher would use a lesson plan to deliver a session or deliver a class. So it's exactly the same thing. So we have lesson plans which contain information on how to host the workshop on different topics, and these keep getting updated. The training team, the Make WordPress training team, actively works on this, and they keep creating lesson plans on different topics. They keep updating it. So lesson plans are really the cornerstone of Learn WordPress. The other cool feature that we have in Learn WordPress is video workshops. Yes, Learn WordPress has video workshops on several topics. Most of the workshops that are available are currently aimed at a beginner audience, but there's a few advanced workshops like Introduction to Gutenberg block development as well. So you can watch these workshops and learn a particular topic. So that's the benefit of these workshops. So they can really help you by watching a workshop. You can really learn more or learn in depth on a particular topic. The other feature about Learn WordPress is discussion groups. So you've seen the workshop and you have questions. Where do you get answers to these questions? This is where discussion groups come in. So you can learn a particular content by watching the video. So and if you have questions, you can participate in discussion group. So several discussion groups are held, mostly by volunteers, sometimes by the same persons that took the workshop. And you can participate in the discussion group in your time zone, and you can ask questions. And in fact, the discussion group is held in such a way that you get to solidify the learnings that you learned by watching the video. So in short, by participating in a discussion group, you can 1. get answers to your questions, and 2. solidify your learnings. Now each workshop comes with quizzes. So again, it's a great and fun way to test your knowledge that you've learned by watching a video workshop. Additionally, we have courses on Learn WordPress. We currently have 2 live courses on Learn WordPress, and each course contains several workshops, and each workshop is linked to quizzes. So essentially, by participating in a course, you get to learn, you get to watch different videos on a particular topic, and you get to learn about the topic. So in the near future, we'll see more courses coming in Learn WordPress with more interactive content, not just videos. We'll have text, animation. So a lot of interactive, very highly sophisticated and very helpful content on different topics that's going to come in Learn WordPress. So that is Learn WordPress to you in a nutshell. Now let's look at the why. We've seen the what. Let's look at the why. Why do we need a platform like Learn WordPress? Now, as I mentioned, Learn WordPress is a primary learning resource for anybody that wants to get started with WordPress. Now, who does it help really? It helps training providers, user communities, professionals, presenters, meetups, and even make WordPress teams. So everybody has a use case here. It's going to help a whole lot of subset of folks, right? So anybody who wants to upscale with WordPress, or if you're a new person, if you're new to WordPress and if you want to learn about WordPress, this platform is over there for you to learn about it. Even for Make WordPress teams, so most Make WordPress teams have some sort of learning needs. So this is like a learning resource that they can use to provide their own training material. So this platform is meant for everybody or anybody that uses Learn WordPress or uses WordPress on their own way. So that brings us to the question, who makes this platform? Like, who creates this? In short, it is created by a group of contributors. It is not created by a company. It's not created by a closed group of individuals. Pretty much like WordPress itself, it's built by the global community of people. So contributions to the Learn WordPress are led by the training team, but the meta team, the marketing team, the design team, the community team, the polyglots team, and the TV team, they all contribute. They all work together with the training team as a cross-team initiative to contribute to Learn WordPress. There are other contributor teams as well, and in the future we'd like to join hands with all the contributor teams in the main project: the plugins team, the accessibility team, the docs team, all of them, the core team. So that is the future where Learn WordPress is headed, where it becomes a truly all-team contributor project, contributor-led project. Now, speaking of contributions, how do you contribute to Learn WordPress? There are several ways to do that. One, you can organize a video workshop. You can record a video workshop and have it presented in Learn WordPress. Second, you can organize a discussion group based on an existing workshop. Third, you can create lesson plans that live in Learn WordPress. Fourth, you can work closely with the training team or the Learn WordPress working group, and you can work with them to help build the Learn WordPress site. Which brings us to the question: so who can actually contribute to Learn WordPress? I mean, by now you might have a feeling that maybe this is for an elite group of folks. The answer is no. Anybody can contribute to Learn WordPress. So we need proofreaders. Proofreaders are folks that can look at existing lessons, identify mistakes, and help us correct it. We need auditors. So the content of the workshops that we have and the lesson plans that we have, they keep changing with new releases. So for instance, 5.8 WordPress 5.8 comes with a lot of changes. So we need folks to help fix those issues. We need translators. We need Learn WordPress to speak all the languages in the world. We need folks to help with design and development. We need help in making this site accessible. And we need subject matter experts on design, development, and accessibility, like all the content. So like these subject matter experts can review the workshops that we have and make sure that we are on the right direction. We need instructional designers. So the success of an educational platform depends on an excellent instructional design, and we need instructional designers to make this platform usable. And finally, we need content creators. I mean, Learn wouldn't be possible. It's a community initiative. So content creators are people like you and I. So we need content creators. So in short, there is something for everyone. So I warmly welcome you to contribute to Learn WordPress. Let's look at two quick areas of how to contribute to Learn WordPress, and I'll go through that real fast so that you can get an idea about how to do it. The first one is contributing video workshops. So as I mentioned, anybody can contribute video workshops to Learn WordPress. Just send in your application through the Workshop Presenter application. You can find the link over there. When you send in the application, Make sure that you have entered a brief description of what you're going to talk about. Make sure that you enter some learning objectives. What are learning objectives? Learning objectives are a brief points on what you're going to be covering in the workshop. Make sure that you add some comprehension questions. So ask some questions. So by answering those questions, a user should be able to learn the topic that you're going to present. And make sure that before you submit the application, make sure that Learn WordPress does not have an existing workshop on the content that you're going to. We don't want duplicate content on Learn. That's something that we are striving for. And your video will be published, reviewed, and made available on Learn WordPress. So the video is being, the workshop, the submissions that you make vetted by community deputies and members of the training team. They will review the content. And so once your content is reviewed, you are approved to create a video. You can then create a video, upload it on WordPress.tv, which we will review. Then you can also submit some quiz questions, which we'll add. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, the video shows up on Learn WordPress and your workshop is live. Some very quick tips on how to record exceptional workshops. Make your workshops short. Nobody likes a very long workshop. So please make your workshops short. Use screencasts if you are providing live content or if you're explaining something. Because like as they say, a picture or a video speaks 1,000 words and everybody likes live things. And speak slowly and clearly. Nobody likes jargon. So, and remember, this is an ESL platform. There are people from all across the world watching. So the more you speak clearly, the more it helps people. And please keep in mind, you need not record your workshops in English. You can record workshops in your local language too. So those are some tips that I hope will help you in this journey. So I look forward to seeing all your video workshop applications. Now, if you're organizing a WordCamp or meetup, there's an excellent way wherein you can contribute to Learn WordPress. And I encourage organizers of Santa Clarita to do this too. Please consider creating content for Learn WordPress. So you can, as a WordCamp or as a meetup, you can come together, record a video workshop and submit it to Learn. Now, the next thing that I want to quickly touch upon is contributing discussion groups. So discussion groups, as I mentioned, I told you what discussion groups are. So anybody can apply to be a discussion group leader, but we typically look for people that have some sort of event organizing experience, but that should not deter you from sending you an application if you're confident to do it. So the process is very simple. We have an application, just fill up the required fields and make sure that you fill up all the fields and send in the application. So we have a team of community deputies and training team members that vet your application, look at your profile. And if you feel that you are a good fit as a discussion group leader, we onboard you as an event organizer in the Learn WordPress meetup group. And you can organize discussion groups on existing Learn WordPress workshops for a global audience. So what you do is you watch a video workshop, you prepare some notes, and you organize a discussion based on that. So how do you do it? Like you can maybe start off by sharing a small summary of the discussion, and then you can then talk about that, or you can just ask questions to people who participate in the discussion group. So that's a great way to do this too. Now, please keep in mind, you need not be a discussion group leader. There's another way that you can use to organize discussion groups. So any WordPress meetup can actually organize discussion groups. It does not need any sort of central approval. So if you are a member of a local meetup group and if you want to organize a session, pick a workshop from Learn WordPress and organize a discussion group based on that for your local meetup. That is a very accessible way of doing it. In fact, several meetups are already doing it. As you can see, a couple of meetup groups, the Northeast Ohio group, the Cape Town group. So several meetup groups are already doing this. So that's a great way to organize sessions and to reactivate your meetup group. Now, some very quick tips on organizing discussion groups. There's a lot of ways that you can do to make it fun. Sometimes people may not be engaged. So like maybe start off by sharing a small summary of the workshop. Do some interactive things like create breakout rooms, create a small quiz. So these things sometimes really spice up your discussion groups. Encourage folks to participate in your activities. Organize some very small fun games. Ask questions. There's a lot of things that you can do. Maybe you could find a partner and you folks could have a discussion, and then the discussion brings in more people into the discussion, and that makes. So there's like a lot of things that you can do to spice up your discussion groups. And when you do this, it's a great way to give back to WordPress as well. So before we go on to the next session, I also want to highlight that you can, if you want to contribute to Learn WordPress, you can also contact the training team directly and just fill up this form and they will get back to you. And you can also, that's also an excellent way to be a part of the Learn WordPress project. Now I want to quickly touch upon the future of Learn WordPress. So how does the future of Learn WordPress look like? I'm going to share 3 quick points. The first one, we will have more fully functional courses. So think Think something like Coursera, think something like LinkedIn Learning. So we'll have structured courses on a topic. So like the video workshops that we have, we'll have more and more courses. So once you do a course, you'll become an expert on a particular topic. That's where Learn WordPress is headed. The other excellent point is that Learn WordPress will integrate with WordPress profiles and WordPress open source software itself. So in short, you will see your Learn WordPress activity in your WordPress profiles. You may see badges. You may see activity, your profile activity. This is a topic that has been in discussion for a while, and it could totally happen in the near future. And the other most exciting thing is we may see more cohort-based learning for Learn WordPress. So that's an exciting feature, which means that you will be learning together with a group of people. And so as when you learn in groups, you get some sort of an accountability. You may even get to work on projects. So there's something very exciting that's coming up on Learn WordPress. And so if you'd like to see more and more ideas about what is being planned for Learn, so there's a Blue Sky Thinking post that's in the Make Training blog, which has some excellent ideas. I mean, we don't know if all of those ideas will be implemented because this is still a work in progress. But if you read that post, I'm pretty sure you'll be very excited about where this project is going to. And with that, I'd like to wrap up this session. Thank you so much for listening to me patiently. I just have one last word for you. Learn WordPress is going to be the most exciting project in the WordPress ecosystem, and I cordially invite all of you to take part in it, contribute to Learn WordPress, use Learn WordPress. It's going to be giving back, a great way to give back to this project, and it's going to help you too. Thank you so much, and I wish you an amazing, amazing day.